Let's vote for our right to Nigerians. Take away the looting game. Take away corruption and the killings. We are solution to put smiles on our mothers' faces, on our youth, our future generations to come. Together as one, no force can stand against us, for we know God is our strength. We are Nigerians, we stand together as one, no force can stand against us, for we know God is our strength.
Yes, we call Nigerians to rise and to stand, united we all stand.
Let's stand for unity. Let's stand for peace and love. Let's vote for our right to Nigerians. Take away the looting game. Take away corruption and the killings. We are solution to put smiles on our mothers' faces, on our youth, our future generations to come. Together as one, no force can stand against us, for we know God is our strength. We are Nigerians, we stand together as one, no force can stand against us, for we know God is our strength.
Yes, we call Nigerians. Come.
solution to put smiles on our mothers' faces, on our youth, our future generations to come. Oh, yeah. Arise, young compatriots. Nigeria, we are Nigerians. We stand together as one. No force can stand against us, for we know God is our strength. We are Nigerians. We stand together as one. No force can stand against us, for we know God is our strength.
Yes, we call Nigerians to rise and to stand. United, we all stand. Divided, we fall.
We stand, together as one. No force
can stand against us.
for we know God is. We are Nigerians. We stand.
Together as one.
No force can stand against us.
For we know God is our strength.
Oh, hello, hello. Nigerians stand. Where two or three are gathered, Lord, you promised to be there. You've always been there. The bad man came to me with the goodies of life, where they make me feel fly, like say I be Jamos die. If I choose to let it go, and the pressure come again, now who I go run to? Make we forget depression, oh. What about the blessings, oh? Now who I got that go? That's why I'll be running to you. I'll be chasing after you. Oh, I'll be running to you, yeah. Oh. Yet I dwell at the secret place of the Most High, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Say I don't misbehave, I know you can relate. The struggles are similar. The enemies try to bring me down, but he no get us in me. Say Papa got my body, you choose to forsake me now. If I choose to let it go, and depression come knocking, now who I go run to? Make we forget depression, no. What about the blessings, no? Now who I got thank God, no. That's why I'll be running to you, yeah. I'll be chasing after you, yeah. I'll be running to you, no. That's why I'll be But two or three are gathered, Lord, you promised to be there. You've always been there. The bad man came to me with the goodies of life, where they make me feel fly, like say I be almost die. If I choose to let it go, and the pressure come again, now who I go run to? Make we forget the pressure, no. What about the blessings, no? Now who I don't thank, go. That's why I'll be running to you. I'll be chasing after you. Oh, I'll be running to you, yeah. Oh. You don't dwell at the secret place of the Most High, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Say I don't misbehave, I know you can relate. The struggles are similar. The enemies try to bring me down, but they not get us in me. Say Papa got my body, but choose to forsake me now. If I choose to let it go, and depression come knocking, now who I go run to? Make we forget depression, no. What about the blessings, no? Now who I go thank God, no. That's why I'll be running to you, yeah. I'll be chasing after you, yeah. I'll be running to you, no. That's why I'll be, yeah.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Month. Welcome to Standout Edition, October. So before I go further in the formalities, I want us to smile. Today's Independence, and we are not supposed to frowning. 60-something years ago, something happened, and Nigeria was free. Okay, thank God. Okay, thank you for smiling. Thank you. So my name is Queen Esther Michael Hogan, and I'm going to be your host and your co-host today alongside with an amazing personality. We'll be gracing your stage and be coordinating the several activities that will be happening today. So before today ends, just know you get used to my face and my voice. Is that okay? Okay, so before we go ahead, just turn to your neighbor and say, hi, happy new month, happy Independence Day, welcome. I'm glad you're a Nigerian and you're also in Nigeria. I'm not hearing that part. I'm glad you're a Nigerian and you're also in Nigeria. Okay, so let's put our hands together for ourselves. So the theme for this month is titled The Path, Engaging Your Map and Compass, and it's actually powered by Standout and Inner Court Church. So this is a combined effort. It's a collaboration to bring this particular edition to you. So let's give it up to Standout and let's give it up to the Inner Court Church. A lot of things have been prepared to serve, like a lot of speakers are ready to share their knowledge for you, to you and with you. So I hope you all are with your writing materials. Do you have your writing material with you? Be it a notepad, your iPad, whatever, just to write down insights when it comes along. Okay, awesome. So let's do something very strategic. What's my name?
Minister.
Okay, let's clap for him. He was listening. What did I say when I said we should greet each other? The last thing I said, the two statements. There were two lines I made mention of.
Said we should greet each other and then greet the person beside you. Happy New Month, Happy Independence Day. Thank God you're in Nigeria, and I'm also in Nigeria too.
Let's clap for him. This month's standout edition is powered by. Okay. Let's clap for him, shall we? This month's standout edition is powered by.
Standout and Inner Court Church.
Oh, it's even it's on the screen. Anyways, please let's clap for him. I want you to sing our national anthem for us.
Arise, O compact.
Please just arise.
I'm not singing it.
Okay, he said he doesn't have the voice to sing. Wow, interesting. That's intriguing, you know. Good morning, sir. How are you? Okay. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Please, I would love you to sing the national anthem for us.
All right. Okay. Arise, O compatriot, Nigeria's call obey to save. Over.
I wanted to do something now, but that would be so extreme. Someone mentioning a part of the Constitution. This is just to gear you. Like, this is the season. This is our month as a country. And it's actually good that you should know how to sing your national anthem. Then in school, like, people really want carton of Indomie for learning how, like, singing it. So it's something you should know how to do because you're a Nigerian and you're also in Nigeria. Do you understand? Okay, so put your hands together. Thank you to all those who participated. It's an honor. So with a round of applause, let's make welcome my co-host, Samoski, to the stage. I told you I won't be doing this alone, right? See now, guy man. Oh, they're even singing national anthem. You did not sing national anthem for me when I was walking, you know. Should I go back and come out?
Doing a video.
Okay, video.
Yes.
Okay, nice one.
Thank you. Please let's pay attention to the multimedia screen.
Happy independence to Nigeria. As Nigeria turns 62, I simply want to wish for good governance, economic stability, an end to insurgency, an end to insecurity, and a stable government. Once again, happy independence, Nigeria. And come 2023, vote wisely.
Independence to me means accountability, sustainability, transparency, and honesty. I am an obedient citizen, and I'm looking forward to a useful government come 2023. Happy Independence Day.
Nigeria, my country, a land flowing with milk and honey. And we ask, When do we partake of this milk? And when do we partake of the honey? Oh, Nigeria, my country, I pray as we mark 62 years today, that the good of the land will come to the people who truly owns it. Happy Independence Day, Nigeria.
Nigeria, this country is sweet. So many natural resources. Oil day, agriculture day, which is just spoil and bad governance. I just want to use this opportunity to wish Nigeria happy independence, happy 62 years. We go make her. Come 2023, vote wisely.
Happy Independence. So officially, these words are to bring reassurance to our hearts and keep hope alive. How much pride do we have in it? I mean, it's one thing that's kept us united whenever we do that together. I was in an event yesterday, and when we did this exercise, I could feel the warmth and love in the air. Possibly it's what binds us together. The words are reassuring, and we're keeping hope alive. So if you may, we all rise to do our national anthem. Please may we all rise to our feet as we do our national anthem. The national anthem, please. 1, 2, go. One name. Peace. So we're going to sing verse 2 like we mean it and sing with life and agility. Oh God of creation, help correct our noble cause. Guide our leaders right. Help our youth the truth to know. In love and honesty to grow and live in just and true. Great lofty height at hand to build a nation where peace and justice. Hip, hip, hip. You weren't expecting that. Please do have your seat. Thank you so much.
Did we enjoy that? Since for those who forgot how to sing nationals, can you remember now? I think we forgot to add the pledge. Maybe we'll do that for something else. Please, let's give it up for our national anthem. It's amazing. Okay, so next on our agenda is the book for the month of September. Okay, so we are going to quietly push that for now and move to the next one. Okay, so I'll call on my co-host, Samoski, to come join me here to read out the profile of our first speaker. He's an amazing personality, and he will be gracing our stage to start up and kick off the conversation for this particular session. Please, let's clap for him. Please clap for this guy.
Thank you so much. We're privileged this morning to have in our midst distinguished fellows, respected, fine, gentle people. I mean, we're endowed and graced in all ramification. And we're going to be having the presence of a distinguished guest this morning. He's a lecturer, he's a business consultant, he's an innovator, a social entrepreneur, and permit me to add mine, he's also an investor. So not only Sabinus is an investor, he's also an investor. And we are so privileged today in okay, I think we should have the book review. They want us to have the book review now.
Okay. So investor says he's not investing now, so we are going to wait when he's ready to invest.
So you could pitch.
Yeah, so I hope you bought your pitch deck. Hope you're ready with your pitch deck, please. Okay, so our investor is going to come on board later on, but let's still wrap up with the book review. So this is is anyone here for the first time? Okay. So we have, oh, interesting. Okay, so on behalf of you, because of you, I'll say something. So we have a habit, a lifestyle here at Standout Community, and that is reading a book every month, and not just reading anyhow book, like books in line with core values, who we are and who we are heading to be. So last month, we proposed a book that we read, which we read, most of us did read it, and it's titled, Who Moved My Cheese? You can see it on the screen. So when I first saw this, I was like, the first time I saw this book, I was quite little. I thought the book was in line of nutritional facts, because about cheese. But I was fortunate to read it and something else. So I won't be reviewing this book, where we have an amazing personality. We used to call her Bukuru. I don't know how you call people that know books too much in your language. But let's make welcome Miss Grace to come and grace this stage and share with us amazing fact about the book, Who Moved My Cheese. Please let's clap for her.
I have reviewers who are working with me, so I'm not the only one they will be welcoming. Please put your hands together. Yeah, good morning, everyone, and happy independence. Okay, so I want Chizaram to come up stage. Chizaram. Let's put our hands together for her. Gospel. Where is Gospel? Owen. Okay, Owen. Harrison. I've not seen Harrison today. Okay. Charles. Don't worry, Queen, don't worry. You will not sit with us today so that we'll have lesser. Then, where is she? I can't find her in the hall. Okay, when she comes, okay, no problems. So, today's book review, we're looking at Who Moved My Cheese. Who moved my cheese? So it's in the past tense. The cheese was there previously, but someone moved it. And the author of the book is Spencer Johnson. It's actually a very easy read. Let me show you what the size of the book looked like. But how many of us read it? You were here last month, and we were encouraged to read this. How many of us read it? How many of us? Okay, beautiful. No worries. So the reason why we read here is because it's part of your personal development mechanism. It's part of the vehicles and the machine that helps you become a better person, evolve, innovate, recreate your life in such a way that you stop old practices, because every time the world is changing. So we have to employ best practices. And that's why we encourage everyone at Standout to read. But this is a combined forum. We have a combined forum here today. So it's just, we're going to be looking at the book itself. So we'll have Chizaram. Chizaram, please, I would like you to give us an overview of the story. Standout.
Define standout.
Happy New Month. Thank you. All right. Who Moved My Cheese? It's a book that talks about change. One Sunday afternoon in Chicago, several classmates that has graduated gathered for a lunch. They wanted to talk about how their experience has been. They wanted to know how every other person has been faring in their different lives. So after having a good meal, they entered into an interesting conversation. They began to talk about their experiences and how life has been treating them. And that led one of them, Michael, to share the story of Who Moved My Cheese. Who Moved My Cheese is a story of 4 characters that live in a maze and they search for cheese. And cheese represents what you want. It's a metaphor that the author used to talk about what we want in life. It could be relationship, it could be job, it could be money, it could be political position, health, name them. And the maze is where you go to look for all these things. The story of Who Moved My Cheese went further to tell us that the sniff, the scurry, and the hem and hoy, these characters, the scurry and the sniff and the scurry, they represent the mice, while the hem and the hoy, they represent the little people. Every morning, this group of rats or mice, they run in the maze searching for cheese to nourish their life. So one day, they came to into the maze and could not find cheese. The other people, which are the mice, they always took notice of the changes. Before they eat, they go around, supervise or inspect the cheese to know what is actually happening, if the cheese is still more or little. But the little people, they don't mind. They hurriedly eat immediately without inspecting. All of a sudden, one day they arrived there and there was no cheese. Immediately, the mice, they moved on. The little people arrived there and they could not find cheese and they became frustrated. They began to murmur, they began to worry. They remained there stagnated, thinking a way forward. But the mice, they did not waste time to move on. So one day, Hoy told him, let's move forward and see if we can get cheese. But Ham was stagnant. He really don't want to move forward. He said he preferred the other cheese that has been in that place. So Hoy, on his own, moved forward to search for cheese. He moved on different locations looking for cheese. He became tired and weary, but he never gave up. On his way going, he always writes on the wall, so that in case Ham wants to follow, he will read the written on the wall and follow him. He kept on moving till he discovered a cheese, and he was happy. Okay, thank you so much. So what she did for us was to tell us the story in the book, because the truth is, it's like the parable. We've read the parables in the Bible, the parables in the Bible that Jesus told. So those parables had lessons. So now we're going to focus on the lessons. And we want, Sir, we'll start from you to share with us the lessons from Who Moved My Cheese. We've heard from Chizaram about the little humans and then the mouse, right? The little humans represent human beings, just as they are little. If you've read Gulliver's Travel, they are just little human beings. So, sir, please kindly share with us the lesson from that story, a lesson that you actually learned from redefining standards.
I was so excited when I heard Who Moved My Cheese was going to be our book for the month. When I first encountered this book many years ago, I had to get 2 copies. I love the book so much, by Spencer Johnson. One of the lessons I learned reading Who Moved My Cheese is for me to anticipate change. The other, monitor change and adapt to change when it comes. Because change in itself can be positive and negative, depends on how we approach it. So we should learn to analyze change, monitor change, and adapt to change when it comes. Sometimes it's even better we initiate our changes, move with the changes. Life changes, and so should we. We should learn to move on. Thank you.
Yeah, we find that in the life of the little mice, where they always smelt the cheese each morning to realize, is he old? Are things changing? You know, your boss, you're seeing that the economy is not the way it's supposed to be. Oil products are not bringing in the money, and you still want to die there, you know? You still want to, I'm not saying that that's what's happening, no. I'm just giving an example before somebody comes and says I'm confessing negative. No, it's an example. When you notice that something, this is not what is in it for now, can you find a way to rebrand and redefine it? Gospel, a lesson from the book.
Stand out.
Defining standard.
The lesson I learned from the book is that change is inevitable and we should always expect it. Now, what makes us try to resist change is fear. We feel that change leads to something bad. But if we look at it closely, it leads to betterment. Now, apart from leading to betterment, it opens you up to new opportunities. Because if you're in the same position, you might not know things that are better than what you've experienced before. So basically, it leads to betterment. That's what change does.
Okay. Change opens you up to better opportunities. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gospel, for that lesson. A lesson from
Stand out.
redefining standards.
Stand out. Happy New Month to everyone. And happy independence. Who moved my cheese? Written by Spencer. I just want to actually use this to tell a story about my life. I have sniffed before. I have scored before. And I've been hammed. But now I am howled, and what makes me awesome. This happened on the 19th of, I think, August. I saw a post on Standout WhatsApp platform about an advertisement about job. If anybody can actually recognize that. Currently, I was working in a place, I was working in a security job, and I was working there. So the salary I was having then was not enough. I was like looking for a higher pay and a higher cheese to purchase. And so when I saw the adverts, the advertiser actually said he's going to be paying 30,000 for a month. So I want to score it in and sniff the change. And then one of my mind actually noticed that this guy is just an individual, it's not a company, and it may not actually be sufficient to pay me the money he's actually advertising. So, and I wanted to resist that change, but then I actually swing into it. And while I swung in, and I discovered that my cheese was moved. He just told me that, oh boy, I can't pay you again because I've not been able to write those letters and all those things. And I was like, I just left my job, as in, my cheese was with me. I was expecting money, and if I could sit down as a security, you know what it means, and then every month you can receive the money, but then I just have to remember that I have to change. So while I swung it in, I just discovered that the unfamiliar path just displayed. And for me to actually create my path, I have to discover the unfamiliar and swung into the unfamiliar path. And while I was there, and my mind was telling me that my cheese has been moved, so I was having a default memory bank. I was thinking of my past, not focusing on the present, on the moment. And so I discovered that in that place, I've learned how to write letters. I've learned how to actually give out letters and approach people and actually talk to people. That's what I've actually discovered. So, to me, my advice to those who have actually lost their cheese is that they should elevate to recreate. Because when you elevate, you actually see what is actually happening. You unify so that you can actually diversify. And then you actually realize the current situation so that you can actually also give an idea of what is happening. So when I got the thing, there was an idea because I had a program to run by December. I had an idea to run the program, and it was like how to write letters and actually be distributing them to the local government chairmen and every other thing. So thanks.
What we learned from that story is that, he got to the new place thinking the money was not there, but there were other things he learned on the new job. You understand? Sometimes your focus is on one thing, whereas there are other things that God is teaching you. There are other things, because we always focus our cheese on money. Money is not the only thing that gives you happiness, joy, or brings that growth and elevation that you need. So we just want Chizaram to give us a final lesson, then we'll wrap up for the section.
Thank you very much. Remember I told you about Snipe, Scurry, and Hem and Hoy. I want to tell you their character. They are found everywhere, even in the organization, in the church, in the school. The Snipe, these people, they love change. They adapt to change immediately. The Scurry, you have to monitor them, to guide them, to direct them, and to put them back on the track. The Hem, don't keep them in your organization. If you have them, kick them off. They don't like change. Then if you have the high in your organization, they are open to learn. They paste on the wall all that they want to, realistic pictures of what they want to attain in life. I love the way the writer of Romans 12 verse 2 said it. Do not be conformed by the things of the world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is a simple truth that you need to change your thoughts and your pattern. I also love the way the writer of Deuteronomy 2 verse 3 said it. Ye have encompassed in this mountain for so long. Now turn ye to the northward. The turn simply means change. This is a wake-up call that you need to change. This is a wake-up call that you have been unproductive for so long. This is a wake-up call that you have been stagnated for so long. Why not turn to the northward and see a life so beautiful?
Put your hands together.
It is a great privilege and honor sharing this book with you. See you next month.
Put your hands together for my panelists. They did an amazing job. I hope you learned something. Just hold on, please. 1 minute. I'll hand over the mic to you. I hope you learned something from the review. I hope you learned something from the review. The truth is, in life, you have to learn to evolve or become extinct. It's natural. Things change. People change. Economy changes. It's only God that is the same forever, right? The fashion we used last year is not the one we're using this year. The musical lyrics that we were singing last year is not. So things change. And if you don't learn to evolve, recreate, reinvent yourself, you just find yourself becoming extinct. So let's learn to change. Our book for next month, this month rather, we're in the leadership month, right? October. So we have to learn how to lead. It's not about those that are up there, because we are still electing people from amongst us. Is it not? We are electing people from amongst us. So if we're electing people from amongst us, it means that every one of us does have a responsibility to grow and learn about leadership. So our book for next month is Principle-Centered Leadership, written by Stephen Covey. You would enjoy this book because the author is an amazing writer too. If you've read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, you will know that you should be expecting something very powerful from this book. So at the bookstand, you'll find it at the bookstand for 2,000 naira. I would encourage us to pick up a copy and to ensure that, not just pick up a copy, ensure you read it. Thank you so much. Let's put our hands together for my panelists again. Thank you for this opportunity.
Let's clap for them. Okay, did we enjoy that? So our investor is ready. Who knows who our investor is? Your pitch decks are ready, right? Okay, so my co-host, Samioski, will be coming on board to introduce our speaker. Please, let's clap for him.
Thank you so much. So I'll continue from where I dropped off. I was going to introduce to us, I had a conversation with him some months back, and it was so engaging. And by the time we're done, I went to his house to see him. We spent 30 to 45 minutes. And by the time we were done, then it dawned on me that we had just begun. I mean, the perspective at which he was able to explain concepts and stuff to me that I took back to my team, we had never seen it in that light. And he so made us to think and rethink and to work hard. And it's that person we're privileged to have here today. A lecturer, I mean, he's so open-minded, always wanting to see everyone grow. A business consultant, an innovator, a social entrepreneur, and I added the last part, the investor part. So you should be open-minded today. Get ready to learn something. It's my honor and privilege to welcome this morning our own, my very own, Dr. Eniola Yemi Temidayo. Please a round of applause for him as he comes on stage this morning, sir.
Let's be seated. Thank you first for the privilege you've given to me to talk to you on this wonderful day. All right. I don't know why they changed the mic, but I hope it's for good. All right. I want to thank you for this great opportunity you've given to me to come and talk to you on the day we celebrate our independence as a people. How independent we are, I don't know, but I think it's worth celebrating that we are people who are free. Whether we're a nation, I don't know yet, but I hope that when we're through with the discussions today, we'll be able to move forward. I welcome every one of you, and I appreciate you for this privilege once again. You know, I'm careful to say that I'm one of those few individuals, few young people, I consider myself still young, who have had the privilege of seeing Nigeria, giving its youth the best. I've also been privileged to see Nigeria as it is today. So I've seen quite a lot in my few years. I was born just when Nigeria was about 10 years. So I have, out of the 62 years of Nigeria's independence, I have witnessed 52. So I think that I am privileged to be able to tell you some things from my heart. School, when I didn't even know where my next neighbor, the state of origin of my next neighbor, it wasn't important. It wasn't important. It wasn't important whether you were Hausa, whether you were Igbo. And I tell you, those friendships have lasted till today. And I seem to flow more with those who are not even from my place. You know, there's a young man, one of my classmates in secondary school that I used to think was from the same state with me. I got to know that he was from Bender State, while I'm from Kogi State, after 45 years of friendship. It wasn't important. But today, you're a generation that is important where you're from. And you see, and the truth be said is that your psyche has been thoroughly bastardized. That some of you cannot even sit with somebody. You're Yoruba, you can't speak with an Hausa man, you can't speak with an Igbo man. You are Igbo, you can't also associate with any of these other tribes. Those of us who are in our 50s and above, we didn't have that luxury of choosing who your friend was. Friendship was forced on us by virtue of the schools we went to. And you know, when we talk about unity schools, we had people who are coming all the way from Lagos, coming to Maiduguri to study. You know, Federal Government College, you see them. I went to a military school. I had all people from every corner of this country coming there, and we didn't care where you were from. I'm hoping that Nigeria will get to that point when you're filling your form, your state of origin will not be important. You're not saying amen, even though, but I'm telling you that by next week, all of you will have visa to the US. The amen will be loud. You are not going anywhere. Are you listening to me? Let me tell you, those of us who have traveled know that it's not as interesting as you think out there. At least I can speak for myself that I've had the opportunity to go and not come back. And beloved, I chose to come back after each of those trainings. So I encourage you, and I want to tell you, I and the other senior citizens here, we are senior citizens. Those of you who are younger, we are senior citizens. Some of us senior citizens were talking outside and discussing outside. And I told them, I said, at a point in my life, I was business development manager for a company. And in the course of doing my job, I had to travel to the 36 states. Or those states, every state had something we could export. And as I moved around and I saw these individuals, as I saw them exploit these raw materials, these resources that we have in the crudest of ways, you know, I got to the point and I said, something different needs to happen. That if we're going to sustain our wealth as a nation, then the way and the manner in which we exploit that wealth needs to change. Today, the Niger Delta is in a sorry state. The damage that has been done by both youths and elders to the environment in the Niger Delta in the next 50 years, we will not be able to recover. I'm just being honest to you. While we're busy damaging the environment, Dubai, in 2015, we had a conference in Dubai, the International Council for Small Business. And what the Dubai government was telling us was what they should be doing in the next 40 years. So in 2015, they were already planning for 2065. Our development plan is 2020, by 2023, by next year it will expire. And no development has happened in Nigeria. But Dubai was saying in the next 40 years, one of the amazing things that happened is that if you go to Dubai today, now there's an amusement park in Dubai that everybody from all over the world goes. By June 2016, it was just fallow ground. They took us in buses and they showed us, they said, look at the land, and we had, the pictures of what was coming there. They had it all scattered on dry land. And they told us that by December of 2015, what we are seeing in picture, we will see real. By November 2015, it was ready for commissioning. By December, Nigerians were already flooding there to attend. That is purposeful leadership. And if you go back and read the history of Dubai, you will discover that when Nigeria was already enjoying our oil wealth, Dubai was like a village. It was desert. What made the difference? Some people say it's leadership. I think it's much more than leadership. I think it's leadership and followership. If the Dubai government, if the leader did not have the right kind of people who believed in him and who were giving their own part of it, I'm not sure Dubai will be where they are today. And so I'm somebody, when I see the confusion, that the youths seem to be, those who discuss with me know that I am not fooled. I'm too old to be fooled by these politicians. They can fool you, but they cannot fool me. They can come with all kinds of words and deceive us, but I will not be deceived. You may be deceived because you have chosen to be deceived. And I want you, even as you start thinking about 2023, I want you to go back and take your time to read books about leaders who have transformed their country. And then begin to ask yourself, these chaps who are contesting, is there any one of them that seems to show any of these signs? Because the truth is that we don't have, Nigeria as a country, we don't have somebody we want to copy. Is there any since Nigeria got independence, is there any leader, any president, any head of state that we want to copy? Is there any? No, I don't think so. So it means that if you are going to know what true leadership is, we need to go outside the shores of Nigeria to look at what true leaders have done for their countries. And then ask ourselves, these individuals who are coming out and saying they want to rule us from 2023, do they have what it takes? And beloved, let me tell you, you may be sitting here and you are in your 20s, in your 30s. You may just be that leader who is going to change things for 2027, because I know 2023, you're out of it. But 2027, beloved, I want you to not look at yourself as people who cannot make it happen. How many of you believe you can make it happen? You may be in your 30s, you may be in your 40s, in your 50s. You can bring about that change. You start planning from today. Against when? 2027. It's not going to be, look, we're going to be pushing, supporting somebody. No, it's going to be about we taking charge. It's about us saying enough is enough. We want to see what is happening in other countries happen in our own country. And you're going to tell yourself you're going to be part of that change process. You're not just going to be sitting down and casting your vote. When I hear those adverts, go and get your PVC and cast your vote. And I'm like, is that the magic wand? Beloved, if they give you 10 idiots, you're going to choose the best out of the 10 idiots. Is that true? Huh? So if you don't have people who are competent, you're going to choose the best out of the incompetent people. And that's what we're going to do in 2023. But 2027 is going to be different. 2023 elections is not the Uhuru year. It is the year to set what? The foundation for 2020. 2027 is the year I want you to start planning towards. And you are planning to be partakers. And I'm happy that this month is about leadership. You know, I come from a state that is fortunate and unfortunate to have a youth as the governor. Kogi State. Worst governor Nigeria has ever produced. Worst. Beloved, and I sit back. Jesus. You know, he's about leaving office now. And he's creating a board that will look at how Kogi State will be better in the next 32 years. When he's now leaving office now. In the 7 years he has been in office, nothing. Nothing. At the point in time I stood up, I said, look, I need to go back to my state and add some value. So I was going to government house. I went to the government house at least 6 times. I'm not asking them for money. I'm saying, I want to come back and be part of the process of making things change. I never met him in office in Kogi State 1 day out of the 8 visits. Once he collects federal the allocation, he's back in Abuja. How many are from Kogi State here? Anybody from Kogi State here? You see now, even if they're here now, they won't raise up their hand because they're ashamed of their state. But beloved, that's going to change. Because the whole country is going to change. There is going to be a bloodless revolution in 2027. What did I say? A bloodless revolution. Because we have, see, I am no more going to sit down and be talking. I told myself, from now, I'm going to be raising men. And below those of us who don't have the strength to run around, I'm wondering how some politicians can run around, because even as young as I am, when I run around for one week to just get some small change in my pocket, I know what results. But the next week, I'm sitting back. But you see, you guys have the energy. And I'm one of those people who will stay behind you and be telling you, move on, move on. Because I have a great confidence in the youth of this nation that they can transform this nation and make it better. You don't believe that you can make it better. And it's a problem. Go and look at the people who are leading the nation of Finland. How old are they? They are your age mates. They're in their 30s. They're in their 30s. They're not in their 40s. They're not in their 50s. They're in their what? In their 30s. And thank God that the nation has changed the age, the minimum age for you to contest, so you can make a difference. Stop following all these old politicians. They don't have anything to offer you. Begin to think about creating your own movement. You must go, those of you who are in the OB movement, you must go beyond that. That is just an iceberg. That is just a sign of what can happen. Am I communicating? It is a sign of what can happen. Beloved, you have technology on your side. You have information on your side. You have the opportunity to read and say, this is what has happened in other countries. This is what we want to happen in our own country. And you have that inquisitive mind that is required, that adventurous mind that is required to be great. So I encourage you. I'm not talking to you, those of you who are in 50, those of you who are in my age group, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the young people that I know that can make things happen between now and 2027. They've told you all kinds of things. Nobody has brought any manifesto. Nobody has come out with a blueprint on how they want to make life better for you. Nobody's going to change this country for you, you youths. You need to stand up. Go and look at all these people we call heroes. They were in their 20s. How many of you know the governor of Rivers State that built most of the buildings you are seeing, high-rise building in Lagos State, in Rivers State? Do you know how old he was when he was governor? He was in his 20s. He was in his 20s, a fresh army officer, and they made him the governor of this state. And all the things that he built, they are legacy that nobody has been able to surpass. Go and check. The best state secretariat in the nation is the one in Rivers State here, built by that man. When information was not even, when knowledge was not as robust as you currently have it. So I welcome you, and I'm going to speak to you from my heart. And later on you can get the slides. But I want to speak to you from my heart for these few minutes. You know, like I told you, I said I had the privilege of seeing the old generation and this generation. We're like in the middle. And you know, one of the sad things that has happened is that I remember that Wole Soyinka said those who are born in the late 60s to 80, he called us the wasted generation. How many of you have heard of that? Come and take this book, that young man. You see, all of you, you are just sitting there, no information, you are not catching information. He called us what? The wasted generation. And beloved, and we are really wasting things. And we are blowing opportunities. All the Sarakis and all that who had opportunity to make a difference in this country, they are now in their 60s, early 60s. They blew all the opportunity. And then we found ourselves back in a position that we have never seen ourselves. We are worse off today than we have ever been. That cannot continue. But you see, when we were younger, we had a different national anthem. How many of us remember that national anthem? You remember the wordings of that national anthem? You know, and it talks about, I don't know, maybe when we changed to fatherland, it became a problem. When it was motherland, Nigeria, we held our old native, you understand? As we changed to fatherland, you know, we just started showing the responsibility as a nation that some fathers show. Do you understand? You know, you go to some places and some fathers will show you so much irresponsibility, and we are seeing it happen. But in those days when it was motherland, it was quite different. And if you go back and look at the national anthem then, you know, it was so wonderful. And when they talked about the national flag, and they said they will hand it over without a stain. Do you understand me? That they will hand over that. I don't know if you remember the Lekki issue. You saw the flag, Nigerian flag. Did it have a stain? It had a blood stain. Everything that old national anthem, you know, exhibited or was communicating to us as young as we were, then somebody just came in and just made it. You know, sometimes I even see people sing the national anthem with an American tone, you know, and they sing it as if they are playing a track. And I'm like, something is wrong with this country. When we used to sing national anthem, if we are playing football and they are playing national anthem, what happens? Everybody stops. You know, some of you have talked so much about leaders, about these political leaders. They are not leaders, actually. They are opportunists. They are opportunists. They are not leaders. Some of them got in there because people like you and I decided not to get involved. But if we decide to get involved, things will change. And you see, like I look at the national anthem, you know, the old one, and I compare with the new one. Please, can you put the next slide? I want you to look at the new national anthem. I have serious problems with it. You see those things in green? It says, the labor of our heroes past. Who are the heroes? Mention one. Guys, shut up your mouth. Which hero? Mention one hero. Mention one Nigerian hero. Hello? Awolowo was not a hero. Tafawa Balewa was not a hero. What was the hero? What hero Who are heroes? Please tell me, who are the heroes? Those people died and left us divided than we ever were. I don't want to be fooled. They got us independence. But after independence, what happened? They divided the country into 3, into 4. The Midwest was like they undecided. They didn't know where to belong to. So they were just floating. The Yorubas will pull them here. The Igbos will pull them there. Only the Hausas were not pulling them. But the Yorubas, so they now say we are Midwest. But you see, and sincerely, sorry that I scatter your philosophy. But that's those who know me now know that is what I like doing. I don't push the table like a mockery. Me, I just want to let you see the truth about it. And the truth is that when you sit back and ask yourself, what did Awolowo do? Awolowo, we saw him as a nationalist. He ended up what? A regional leader. The same thing with Azikiwe, the same thing with Tafawa Balewa, and all of them. You see, none of them, when we look at nationhood, the concept of nationhood, you will see that they were not interested about the concept of nationhood. At the point, everybody was interested in developing his or her own region and themselves. And today, we are still quarreling about those things. Now, they even divide us into more regions and made it 6. And my own region is the most unfortunate of all regions, the North Central. The North Central, the most unfortunate. And let me tell you, as it stands, with the calculation now, there is no Christian from the North Central that can ever rule this country. From the calculation. Because if a Christian comes, because of you, because of all of us who have become religious bigots, and rightful so, because of the things that we see. So if I stand up tomorrow and say I want to be president of this country, where am I going to choose my running mate from? I'm a Christian from the North Central. Where will I choose from? Where will I choose? I'll go back to the North, call North, and choose the Muslim. I'll come to the West and choose the Yoruba Christian. It won't happen now. Are you saying? So because we have rearranged the country into cubicles that make it difficult for true leaders to emerge. So we need to change that paradigm. And we have 4 years from now to 2027 when we'll be contesting. I want to stand behind an Igbo man. I want to stand behind an Afik man. I want to stand behind a Fulani man. And for those of us who grew up in the North, when the things we hear today and see the Fulanis do, we are shocked. Because that was one tribe that used to be very timid. The Fulanis, they used to be very timid. But today, there's so much boldness with AK-47 and all of that. No, we didn't know them for that. What happened to our country? Where did we miss it? We have no heroes. And I want you to leave this place not looking at anybody, because there's nobody who has set any standard. What is the standard they have set? Yorubas will tell you, our Lord promoted free education. And so what? And so what? What has it translated to? Has it moved the country forward? It has only moved one part of the country forward. But I want you guys to rise up and create heroes out of it, people who will stand for the truth. People who will stand for a better Nigeria. You say a nation that is bound in what? Freedom. Are we free? Hello, are we free? Are we? Do you know what freedom means? Do we know what freedom means? What does freedom mean? Yes. You have liberty. Why are you running to abroad? Why are you japa? Why do you use japa? If you believe there's freedom here, why are you running? The freedom to choose, the freedom to be what you want to be. Is that opportunity made available for you? No, I don't think so. My slide, please. I'm looking at the national anthem. Then it talks about what? Peace and what? And unity. We have plenty of peace, isn't it? That is it. You know how many children say this national anthem every Monday to Friday? And then they force us, even as we gather here today, there was somebody they told to sing national anthem, he couldn't sing it. And you know, and I was like, there's a big problem. Because he does not even believe in it. If you believe in it, you will be able to sing it. But because you know that you are not free, because you know that there's no peace and there's no unity. So everybody is illusion. Look, my lawyer, I engaged a lawyer. He was supposed to be doing something for me. So I sent him a message. It took almost 8 hours for him to reply. The minute he replied, he said, "Oh, sorry, sir, I'm just seeing your message. Something else told me this guy has left to Nigeria." So I said, have you jackpot or you went out of Port Harcourt to do? He says, "Can I reply after I'm in Canada?" Brilliant, fantastic lawyer. Young man who was planning to go and contest in his native Ekiti. The guy has taken off. His family is making arrangements to move his family. Is that the kind of nation that we all aspire for? No, that is not it. Just let me tell you, all these people all these countries we are going to, they used to come here. I had classmates who are Americans, who are Britons, and who are from Pakistan and all these other countries. In fact, let me tell you, growing up, Indians were inferior people to Nigerians. Indians. China. Chinese person will come close to you. I'm not trying to be racist, but I'm just telling you what it was. A Chinese man. Anything made from China, nobody, I thought we were concerned it was fake. But now, you know how many containers coming from China every day? You'll be amazed. That is the Nigeria that these heroes left for you and I. The people you call hero. If I have my way, you see, I will remove all their picture from our currency. All of them, I will remove their picture from their currency. If Murtala too is a hero, hello, those of us who are old enough, is Murtala also a hero? But he's on the Naira. These are people who kill people unnecessarily, did all kinds of things, and you put them on national currency. That's where our problem is all about. Because we have glorified idiots and made them to become our leaders. You see people who are talking today as politicians, and you begin to ask yourself, what is their history? From where did they start from? That they are there today telling us how our country should be. And many of yesterday I was listening to Today FM, and then one of the Rivers boys was lamenting. He said they recovered plane and brought it to the airport, and then all mature people left what they are doing and went to the airport, and they were dancing and they were singing songs and welcoming aircraft. That is our nation. That's how our mindset has been brought low, to glorify things that are not important. It's a God our leaders right. We have been praying that prayer, and I'm not sure God is guiding them. God is not answering us. Because what is happening, what these guys are doing, it cannot be God. What did I say? It cannot be God. Something else is pushing them. And that's why you can't follow them. I cannot follow them. He said, that's the one that helps, the one that interests me now. He says, help our youth the truth to know. That's the only part of the national anthem that I pray about. Let these youths, let them know the truth. Man of God, I thank you for this gathering. And I thank you for your standouts, right? I thank you for that. Please do more. Tell these youths the truth. Let them know it. We should stop praying. We should start telling them the truth. As you are sitting here, let me tell you the potentials that you have. If you know what potentials that are inside of you, if you know how outside this country they are looking for you, you will not wait for these politicians. Your mates are there, they are sitting down and they're making a hell of money sitting in, and you know the funny thing is, you make them to even look down on you because as you are coming out, you have your boxer down to your knees. You are looking like a ruffian, so everybody sees you. So the man who doesn't understand your generation's language, what will he do? He looks down on you and sees you as an idiot. He doesn't think he can entrust anything into your hands. You must change. It says, great and lofty heights to do what? To attain. To build what? A nation. So even them, when they wrote the national anthem, they know that there was no nation. That's why the national anthem is a prayer. It said, help us to build what? A nation. Because a nation building of a nation is what? Is a continuous process. It is not an end. It's not a journey that comes to an end. It is what? A continuous process. There are things you consistently need to do. And you see, when a nation is built, there are so many things that happen. It brings people of different tribes together, and they become what? One. And when they become one, every other state, every other person who is an Igbo man or Yoruba man ceases to recognize himself as such. They see themselves first what? As Nigerians. As you sit down here, are you seeing yourself as a Nigerian? Look, I'm not bothered about your state of origin. The people who have helped me the most in my life are people who are from other tribes. So I have no reason to generalize and say, so person, for so tribe, you are like this. No, because my experience is different. Now, the topic I was given says that we should look at the entrepreneurial dimension to what? To nation building. I'm careful to tell you that when we talk about the word entrepreneurial, that what we basically mean is what? Problem solving. And nothing more. The whole process, the whole entrepreneurial process that you want to talk about is about what? Is about identifying problem and what? And solving it. In nation building, what people do in nation building is that those who are saddled with the opportunity to lead, they sit down to identify the problems that are hindering the people from becoming one, and they are what? They are solving it. Why do we have the level of insecurity that we have in our country? Are people sitting down to bring solutions? You know what is happening? They are just passing buck. They are not sitting down to say, how do we solve this? How do we carry the citizens along and solve this problem of insecurity? If they carry us along, carrying us along may even be that they give all of us gun. And change the law and say everybody can own a gun. If a thief knows that he's coming to your house and he knows that you have a gun, he will think twice before he comes. Am I communicating? I'm not saying you should go and buy a gun. No. I'm saying they should change the law and make those things. Create that opportunity. Create that environment where the problems that we contend with, we solve it. I was discussing with, I'm a lecturer, but I was discussing with my brother outside, and I said, one of the problems of this country is also ASU. And I speak as somebody who is inside. But I will not tell you the details of how they are also contributing to the problem. I shared some with them. We're also part of the problem. We are. Because we keep talking about how difficult it is for government to sponsor. What are the options to funding education? What are the options? Many of them had options. Many of them went to school under bonds, and which today they did not pay. Many of they have retired as professors. They went under bond, but they didn't pay. And they have retired, and nobody is holding them. That opportunity, they shut it. And nobody is talking. And then we now come out. So I don't want to dwell on that. But you see, what of our judiciary? Now, I want you to look at the problem that is affecting the building of our nation. Go and look at the history of Boko Haram. Those guys became violent as a form of what? Revenge. When their leader was killed in detention by police. And they came out and they said, and before you know what's happening, other idiots now joined them. And then today, it's not just Boko Haram we're talking about. We're talking about so much insurgency that we don't even understand the ideology. These are the problems that people who build the nations solve. We're talking about our economy. The dollar is how much? 700 and how much? 780. And somebody said before then yet we enter 1,000. Beloved, a return ticket to US in the 80s was 1,200 naira. 1,200 naira. No, business class on Nigerian Airways. Business class, first class, 1,200 naira. I didn't say 1,000, no. 1,200 naira. That one, if you take it to Market Square, it won't buy you 2 loaves of bread. Now, only 1 loaf of bread. That was what you paid for a return ticket. And then when my friend wanted to go and school in the US, in fact, they came to Benin to come and give them admission with scholarship. And as they were entering the aircraft, all of them had walking stick. Youth, 17-year-old, 18 years old, and they had walking stick. And then they were giving royal welcome. Of course, as soon as they landed in the US, the cold drove them back into the aircraft. And they said that they were not coming down. So they had to go and buy them. The airline had to go and buy them overall jackets and everything. That's how good they treated Nigerian citizens. Now go to the embassy, you see what will happen to you. Even South Africa. Even Ghana embassy, Ghana High Commission, Tanzania, Nigeria will go there, and they will now treat you, and they will so humiliate you. Beloved, things have to change. What is the entrepreneurial mindset? What's the entrepreneurial dimension that we're asking you to do? Please move the slide so that they can see it. Just move the slides to the last one. I wanted to talk to you about the man who changed Singapore. Lee Kuan Yew. That man, let me tell you, that man went to London to school and came back to his, just like this our other people also said they fought for independence. Our heroes past that fought for independence. You see this man told himself, he came back to the country and he saw everything and he spoke to the other parts of what is Malaysia and Singapore today. And told them, he said, look, brothers, let's come together. The way Awolowo and all of them, and Nnamdi said, let's have independence for Nigeria. The same. That's what happened. And in 1954, this man went and formed a party, the People's Action Party. Is that okay? Formed a party that had the people. And let me tell you, this man at a point in his life, when he saw that the other people that had come down to form Malaysia, which included Singapore as at then, that they were not seeing what he was seeing. So what did he do? He broke out of Singapore. Out of the whole Malaysia, and carried his people, and they started Singapore as the nation. And one of the things that he told himself was that, what do I need to do to put Singapore on the map of the world? What do I need to do? One of the things, as mundane as it may seem, he made sure that every Singaporean could speak the Malayan language and also speak English. He said, because you see, you're going to be interacting with the international world. And he said things in order. Let me tell you, when he died in, I think, 2000, when he died, the nation stood still. When what's his name? This man, Abacha died. I was in Port Harcourt the day they announced his death. Hey, come and see the way cars were driving on Okporo Road. There was accident too. People were, as if we had just, when we won the, was it World Cup that time? The way people celebrated was the same way they celebrated. One of my senior pastors, he said the day Abacha died, they did not shoot knockout to say a general had died. That a recruit in the army, when he dies in battle, they will give him 21 gun salute. He said that they didn't shoot knockout. Because people were rejoicing. Those are the kind of heroes. If tomorrow now the current president died too, people will say he's hero. You will now create 1,000 naira note, put his face on it. And you say nothing will happen to that currency. You now know why our currency, the value is going down. Eh? You now know. Because the people you put as heroes, those heroes, if you want that currency to have value, you better remove those pictures. That is, you remove their pictures, all of them. Remove their pictures. There are people who have died for this country. You know the woman who stopped the Ebola issue. What recognition has she been given? These are the kind of people that should be on the currency. When we see them, we remember that this one died for Nigeria. All these people, none of them died for Nigeria. None. None of them died for Nigeria. None. Beloved, you need to develop the traits of innovativeness. That is what helped Malaysia. That's what helped Malaysia, and that's what helped Singapore. You know, when they tell you a story that Malaysia is the highest exporter of palm produce in the world, people just wonder, but do you know that they came to Nigeria to come and collect seedlings? They came to Benin. In fact, they came to a place called NIFO, a research institute in Benin, that the Nigerian government established. They came to collect seedlings from there and took to their country. And today, they are the highest exporter. We're not even near them. We're almost non-extinct. No, we're getting extinct, even in production of palm fruit. Because our foresightedness, our proactiveness is dying. Beloved, who are the kind of leaders that you should vote in 2023? If you find them, if you don't find them, sit down in your house. I won't tell you what will happen that day. But beloved, those of you who are planning to be leaders, there are traits you need to understand. Number one, innovativeness. That is part of the entrepreneurial dimension to nation building. Number two, I will soon be done. Number two, proactiveness. Number three, there has to be competitive aggressiveness. And there must be that determination that we want to move Nigeria from where it is to where it should be. It's not just sitting down and just talking story. You go to Professor John, everybody is talking about 2023 election. That's not what we're talking about. You know, I'm careful to mention the word autonomy before they will say that I'm telling iPod to go. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about bringing everybody and let everybody have a sense of what? Belonging. A nation where everybody feels that he's part and parcel of the nation. That's what we need to be thinking about. Then, of course, a nation that leverages on its resources. Beloved, we don't have any business importing anything. What did I say? We don't have any business importing what? Anything. Let me tell you, even the raw material for nuclear weapons and for nuclear energy, we have it. In my village, you see all this powder, pancake, lipstick that women rub. The major component of that thing is called tack. Tack. In my village, women use it to plaster the huts in the villages. That's to tell you the abundance. But what's my state governor doing about it? He doesn't even see it. He only sees the monthly allocation, and then he goes back to Abuja to go and stay in one of the hotels he has built. God will help us. And we should also help ourselves. So I encourage you to sit back and tell yourself, I am going to be a major player in 2027. I'm not talking about 2023. It's too late for us to be major players, but 2027. Dan Sino wrote a book called The Startup Nation. It's about Israel, and I hope that it's one of the books you will read very soon. Is that okay? Where is the woman in the club? I recommend that book for you, Startup Nation, The Story of Israel. Go and read it and see how Israel became a nation and how today they have one of the best agricultural practices in the world, a desert. They converted this desert into what? A land that produces everything they want, they produce. Everything they eat, they produce. They are self-sufficient as a nation. One of the things he said, when you bring about a reform, what happens, when you want to bring about a reform in a nation, you do what? You change policies. Is that okay? And reforms don't usually last. After a while, they happen. Their impact, you don't see anymore. But what Israel experienced is a revolution. And what we need in this country is what? A revolution. Listen to me and listen carefully before you say I said go to the street and form a revolution. No. The revolution is what? In the mind. Your thinking pattern needs to change. And I hope that it changes very soon. Thank you for that review of Who Moved My Cheese. One of the lessons, the only lesson I learned when I read Who Moved My Cheese some 15 or 20 years ago was, he asked the question, he said, what will you do if you are not afraid? What will you do if you are not what? If you are not afraid. Beloved, if you are not afraid, you can become whatever you want to be in this country. And you can find yourself in the government house, in the National Assembly, in your state's House of Assembly, in your local government, making the difference that you desire. Nobody is going to give you that change. You need to go out there and make the change. Thank you very much.
Please a round of applause for Dr. Eniola. Thank you so much, sir. A revolution is about to occur, or is occurring already. We're changing our mindsets. I mean, you can't sit under his teaching and don't get challenged and moved. The ball has been set rolling. I mean, too many questions to ask. Don't be in a hurry to go. I know with what the doctor has said here today, questions bothering you on your mind. So take our time today, relax, and answers will be provided for those questions. At this point, let's welcome a fine gentleman, still in the mood of Nigeria's independence. I want us to invite a recording artist, our very own, would listen and would have him come here on stage.
Okay. Good afternoon. Happy Independence, Nigeria. If you're Nigerian, say something. I'll say Happy Independence. We are still Nigerian, so we don't have a choice in this thing. I was talking to a friend, and I told the person compliment of the season, and he was like, hope it's not independence season. Actually, I was talking about the rainy season, though. And and I said something to him. I said, it is called Happy Independence for a reason. It's either we choose to be happy or we are happy. So the ball is in your court. Okay, I don't know about you, but Nigeria is a place where I can call home. I've not traveled out before, so I'm still here. And I believe I still have friends who we are together in this. Even for those who traveled, you're welcome. Okay, so last year, I did a song, Great Nation by Timi Dakolo, and it was an amazing experience. I did it here. And this year, I am doing a song that I just released today, titled Stand Nigeria. And so please, you can bring out your phone now. You have data, right? Yes. So bring out your phone. If you're on Audio Mark, you can type Stand Nigeria by Chimaobi Dennis and you'll see it. Please listen. I'm in Nigeria and help me. Okay, praise God. So I'll be doing the song and I want to thank God for this privilege to do this song, and I want to thank Mr. Patrick for this opportunity, and I want to thank my pastor, PK. I think he's outside. Okay, so let's go. Let's stand for unity. Let's stand for peace and love. Let's vote for our right on Nigerian come. Take away the looting game. Take away corruptions and the killings. We are solution to put smiles on our mother's faces, on our youth, our future generations to come. Yeah. Arise, O compatriot. We are Nigerian. We stand together as one. No force can stand against us, for we know God is our strength. We are Nigerians. We stand together as one. No force can stand against us, for we know God is our strength. Oh, yes, we call Nigerians to rise and to stand. United, we all stand. Divided, we fall. Oh, we stand. No force can stand against us, for we know God is our strength. We are Nigerians, and we stand together as one. No force can stand against us, for we know God is our strength. Oh, hello, Nigerians stand. All right, put those hands together. Thank you very much. Stand out.
Okay, please can we give it up for him again? That was awesome. Can anyone remember any striking lyrics? Any line from the lyrics you just sang? Okay, that was very following. So let's clap for ourselves. Okay, so it's another time for another conversation where we are going to meet our mentor, Mr. Patrick Uduma. So I want to do something quite different and read out his profile for today. So who is he? Why do we call him our mentor? And let's know a little bit about his professional experience. So Mr. Patrick Uduma is the Chief Executive Officer of ICREN Services Nigeria Limited and MD Math Nigeria Limited. And also he's on the board with a number of reputable organizations like DB Tech, CareHub Foundation, Center for Creative Development Strategies, Hive Africa, and Equip Africa. As a mentor and a life coach, he oversees the life school popularly known as Stand Out with Mr. Patrick. That's why we're here. Can we clap for ourselves? He is a passionate on-air personality that hosts a weekend thought trajectory program at the Nigerian Info 92.3 FM. Interestingly, he has received a fellowship conferment by the following institutes: the Chartered Institute of Commerce in Nigeria, that was 2019, the Institute of Information Management Africa, 2020, and the Institute of Oil and Gas Research and Hydrocarbon Studies, 2020. He also has a number of awards under his belt. One which is Nigeria's Most 100 Innovative CEOs, 2020, the Guardian newspaper, Business Excellence in HSE Compliance, Nigerian National Legacy Awards, 2020, and more that is to come, more that is to come. Please let's make welcome on this amazing day our mentor, our table shaker, Mr. Patrick.
You know, I met one of the ministers a few days ago. When I got into his office, I was ushered in. I told him that 99% of the people come to see you ask for favor. I asked him, what can I do for you? He was shocked and dropped his paper and looked up. I said, let me repeat again. What can I do for you? He said, you know what? I want to see you back in my office on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I'm going to go back to his office and I will still repeat to him, what can I do for you? Because in standard, we add value, we don't take value. I'm not a politician, but I'm a political mind. 5 years, all of you have seen me metamorphosed into greatness that you admire. Not only on the concept of personality, but on the concept of tangibility that you can feel. And 90% of the people who also flock around me are asking, what can they take from me? I ran this organization for over 5 years with multiple of millions of naira, which would have also afforded me all kinds of cars and vehicles and everywhere. But you know, sometimes I cry. Because sometimes it seems that 5 years is almost a wasted 5 years. 5 years, almost nothing has happened. Ladies and gentlemen, I have 3 visas currently. I can jet out if I want to jet out. I don't have any inhibition. All I need to do is just invest part of money I'm investing here in any of the countries, and I'll be okay. And I have what it takes. I have what it takes to move. We don't believe ourselves. If we believe ourselves, we can't be where we are. We are victims of life. And all that I've been talking for past years is how can we discover who we are, own our life, and choose how to express life. When I see our youth, everybody wants to jet out. Shame on us. Those things were built by men who are not better than us. They were built by people who took a stand for themselves and their country, who are fearless and bold and courageous, who has the courage of conviction to fight. We want it better, not, want to grab. Can't forget, I went to America, in Havana, and Mother Hannah, may her soul rest in peace, asked me to relocate. I asked her how much did they make in here. We took time to look at all their national, all the highest pay I'm not talking about who steals or do all kinds of things. I mean, legitimate thing. I told her, Mama, you know what? I could visit you. I'll come back to Nigeria because this money I make it in a day, in a month, most times. I wish you could have just posted what I want to post about over here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have potential that has not been untapped. I came back from Kaduna yesterday. I was happier than ever before. There's hope for Nigeria. You know what they want to do? They want to sap all your intelligence and everywhere, take you as a slave in their country, come and colonize us again. You know why? They see potential you don't see. So you go there as a slave. You can't do what you're doing when you go there. Some of you can't be a security man, but you go there and wash dirty people. That's what you're running for. You can't work as hard as you work for this country, because if you go there, you earn every 10 kobo you have. Nobody will give you an egg, not one person, because it's good to tell ourselves the truth. They flash it and say, hey, come over. They don't tell you the truth. I was in London, I was shopping exactly one day, I can't forget. A gentleman walked up to me, he has 4 degrees, master's degree, said, I want to come back home. Can you employ me?